Greetings, Church of St. Michael, Father Froehle here. This week I'd like to share a little bit more with you about the Rorate Mass that we'll be celebrating at our parish this upcoming Saturday, December 19th, beginning at 6:30 in the morning. The Rorate Mass is an incredible tradition of a church that stems back quite a while, and the idea of a Rorate Mass is that it was a Mass celebrated very early in the morning, during Advent, right before dawn. The Mass would be celebrated by candlelight, and the Mass would be a votive Mass of Our Lady, meaning that all of the prayers of the Mass would be directed towards Mary, asking for her intercession as we all awaited the coming of Jesus at Christmas. This tradition, though it has fallen out of use in many places, has started to make a return. This will be, I believe, the third year that we've offered this sort of Mass at our parish. The Mass gets its name, Rorate, from the first word of the entrance antiphon that would have been sung at the Mass. Rorate caeli de super et nubes pluant justum. In English, let the clouds rain down dew from above, and let the clouds rain down the just one. This comes from the prophecy of Isaiah foretelling the coming of Jesus. And so the Mass has this characteristic of longing for our coming Lord and King. So this year, we will continue this tradition, and this Mass will again be celebrated very early in the morning, before dawn. And it will again, just like the tradition, be celebrated entirely lit by candles. It will be really wonderful. Unfortunately, due to the lack of ambient light, we will not be able to live stream this Mass. So I do want to encourage you, if you've never been to something like this before, do come. Do come and celebrate this wonderful Advent tradition. This Mass will look a little different than our normal Masses here at Church of St. Michael. For instance, as I've already said, it will be celebrated pretty much in the dark, but illuminated by a multitude of candles representing that light that we have, that we long for to come into the world. The idea is that the Mass will be wrapping up right around the time that dawn is breaking. Again, this is very symbolic of the dawn from on high that shall break upon us, as Zechariah foretells in his canticle when his son John the Baptist was born. The dawn from on high being Jesus Christ our Lord. The Mass will also be celebrated in Latin, with our readings done in English. So this might be unfamiliar for many of you, but this language of the Church helps connect us to the universal faith, so that all of our brothers and sisters, no matter where we are in the world, if we came together and celebrate Mass in a common language, we could actually do this, and it would be in Latin. So we will have worship aids to help you know the responses, as well as translations of the prayers that aren't quite as familiar to us, so that you can continue to follow along easily. Finally, this Mass will be celebrated using an ancient posture of worship. We'll be celebrating this Mass ad orientem, meaning towards the east. Again, there is this long tradition of a church of worshiping together as a body towards the rising sun, looking towards the coming of Christ. Over the centuries, the physical posture of towards the east got shifted to a more liturgical posture towards the cross, toward that the whole congregation would be facing the same direction, symbolically again, reminding us that we're all worshiping the one God, we're all in this together, and we're all longing for the coming of Christ. And so we will maintain this posture in our Rorate Mass. So there will be moments where the prayers that are directed towards God, you'll see my physical stance won't be facing towards the people, but will rather be facing towards the cross and the tabernacle. And this is just another way that we are able to celebrate our faith, and another way to enrich our tradition as Catholics. This Mass, I hope, will be a beautiful way to conclude our Advent season, that will provide us a way to contemplate and reflect in a quiet and beautiful atmosphere the coming birth of Jesus, his birth into the world 2,000 years ago, his birth into our hearts now, and that coming in glory that we all long for. I hope you're able to join us this weekend at 6:30 for our Rorate Mass as we ask Our Lady's intercession to help us to welcome the coming dawn, Jesus Christ, our Lord.